Right, sexy, lovely, bad bitches, I just chugged a Mountain Dew. I don't get why people like them. They kind of taste fucking disgusting. I don't know. I don't even, like, battery acid and whale cum comes to mind. Not like I know what either of those taste like, but if I had to do a shot in the dark, I would say Mountain Dew Zero. My heart hurts. Not out of heartbreak anymore, just because adrenaline, so I'm gonna make a video. Let's see if I remember what the video is gonna be about. Oh, stop having fucking self-fulfilling God damn it. Stop having self-fulfilling prophecies. Let's pretend I know the word. Self-fulfilling prophecies. Let's stop having them. Why? Because you'll just shoot yourself in the fucking foot. Like, I remember that for the longest time when I lived with my mom, like, she would tell me, like, ooh, well, it's not like you can go anywhere else but live with me. You have no other option. Because let's say you did get a job. The best you could get is, like, a job at McDonald's. And that's, like, what, like 15 an hour? And then you'd have to live with some other random bitch and then share, like, a one-bedroom apartment studio together in some shitty-ass area near the Coliseum. And, like, you'd be struggling. And you'd be shitty. So, frankly, I think you got it pretty good here. And then guess what? When I fucking finally got the opportunity to leave her, I struggled for a bit, sure, but I was still doing really fucking good. I had a nice job. I was making a shit ton of money at this nice high-end vegan restaurant. I had a lot of fucking fun. Well, and also some bullshit, but you know, every job has bullshit. And then guess the fuck what? And then guess what? When I left that job, I got a nice job working at luxury apartments in the city. I got a really nice job. Like, I was able to be like, okay, I'm wearing like fancy little blazers and my fancy little earrings, and I got my hair freshly done, braided down my back. And I lived fucking, like, I still live at the same place I do. Yeah, my housemate can be a piece of shit, but guess what? I still have a really nice place with people who are aligned with my goals, really cheap rent. Like, you know, instead of my mom being like, ooh, you're not going to do anything in life and you're just going to work at McDonald's and all your money's going to go to rent and you won't have money to do everything else. So, frankly, you should just be glad that you live here and that I'm taking all your disability checks for the rent. While also not really feeding me properly. Fucking bitch. Or treating me properly. But I guess what? I didn't believe any of the shit she said. Like, sure, it did scare me into staying there a little longer than I should have, but frankly, the pandemic was the best fucking circumstances because there was no one there who would recognize me. Everyone was wearing a mask. My hair was styled different. I worked in a different part of town that they never ever would be in. And so far, life's been pretty good. Like, yeah. I guess I'm just saying, like, if I believed what she said, I probably would have just, like, went, okay, this world isn't built for me, there's no way I can succeed. But instead, I went, nope, there's resources for me, I'm aligned with all my goals, and I know that God or whatever higher power is looking out for me. And then I got a high paying job, off the fucking bat, at a wonderful place. So wonderful. And I'm talking like penthouse parties, shrimp scampi, and like massive containers of chicken strips given to me for free. Like, my employers loved me so much that they were literally DoorDash me cake just to congratulate me for being so sweet and working so many shifts. And I believed in myself. I also remember that when I was a teenager, yeah, funny enough, I remember in my teenage years, I worked so hard at screenwriting, even with people when people believed in me and even when people did not believe in me. I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna work hard on these scripts because they're my passion projects. No one else has to agree with the plot, no one has to be interested in it or the logistics, it's just for me. And then guess what? Since I believed in myself, because of that, I got invited to be at Academy of the Arts early. I got to, like, yeah, I was there when I was like 16, gonna turn 17 for their pre-college art experience program. And I got to actually take college level courses for filmmaking. And then even when I was 17, before I even turned 18, I already got on 3 different film sets as a PA, craft food services, assistant. Like, it was pretty damn fun. And then next thing you know, I was working with this woman who wanted me to do everything. She was like, you need to do modeling, screenwriting, this, and that. And she wanted to push me forward. The fucked up thing is, she did eventually have her own episode where I guess her shitty husband was like, hey, guess what? You need to stop working at your own goals and, like, because we need money to pay the bills. Stop working on filmmaking and get back into that job and investing you hate in the stock market. And she was miserable, so eventually, I think out of spite, I remember we had this one specific dinner where we met up and talked, and I was going through such a hard time, but I was getting optimistic again because she instilled in me, you can do anything you fucking want. Anything. You should pursue it all. You could do modeling at the same and get some headshots done as you're writing your scripts, and then on the side you could be on these PA sets and you can use the funds for modeling to fund your films. And like, she was really pursuing, like, encouraging me to pursue my goals. But then she had me fucked up because this one dinner where we talked, like, as I was talking about how I got out of like such a bad suicidal depressive rut, she specifically, like, she kind of projected onto me, and then she was like, there's no way you could do all of that at once, it's just not realistic. Like, why are you trying to do so much anyway? It's not practical. Like, what's the fucking point? And she got to me. And then that, like, totally tore down, like, a structure in my head that trauma, like, I used to have the highest amount of confidence, self-esteem, and all my goals. Nothing could shake me until trauma did. And it struck hard. Unbelievably hard. And I suffered from it. And then right as I was building myself back up and the structure was kind of fragile, she broke it back down again, even worse, to the point where it was just unbuildable. I still don't forgive her for that. And I think honestly it's affecting me a lot more than I thought. But the good thing is I'm finally rebuilding it now. I'm trying to get back to the point where it's like, hey, like, because guess what? I'll put it this way. My whole life I kind of told myself, why would you believe other people when they don't have the same journey as you, same beliefs, anything? Like, I had people saying that I was fucking ugly and not smart and that I wouldn't add up to anything in life. But guess what? Now suddenly it catches me off guard. People are like, Tamir, you're one of the most beautiful women in our city. When you walk into rooms, people's heads turn. People notice when you walk into rooms because you're that stunning. And it's like, holy fucking shit, I didn't know I had it like that. But guess what? I didn't believe in what people told me. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to work on my skincare. I'm going to work on my hair care. I'm going to make sure I take care of my body, keep it soft, shaven, decently skinny, but also like luscious in the right areas. I'm going to improve my diet. Like, you know, people are telling me like, ooh, screenwriting is hard, the filmmaking is hard, you're going to suffer. But guess what? I persevered so fucking hard that I was ahead of, like, top of my fucking class when I was at Academy of the Arts. Like, people actually, like, scooted up in their seats because they were like, oh, shit, what did Tamir write this week? We want to see this shit. Like, their jaws would drop when they read the shit that I wrote. And I was really fucking happy about that. If you gotta believe in yourself because no one else would. And also, if it's something that's decently easy and you can picture the steps to do it and other people want to shit on you for no fucking reason despite the steps being easy, then like, fuck those people. Like, I'll put it this way. If you have a set of stairs in front of you and you're like, I can easily walk up those to get to the top, and then some stupid motherfuckers with, like, broken knees or who feel lazy or who prefer escalators or elevators, they tell you, no, that's impossible. And it's like, but to you, it's like, what? It's only 20 steps, and I can, like, one step at a time, I can do this and do that and build my way up. What's so unbelievable? But they're like, no, you fucking can't. Are you just gonna go, guess I'll just stay here at the bottom and not get to where I want to fucking go? Or are you gonna take the steps? Because guess what? Even if you, let's say you go up and then you're like, oh shit, never mind. My knees do kind of hurt. I am kind of tired. At least you fucking tried. That's why they have the fucking quote, shoot for the stars, because even if you fucking fail, you'll end up, wait, no, shoot for the moon, because you'll still end up with the stars at the end of the fucking day. So if you have everything, like, for example, all the women who were told you can't be an astronaut, blah, 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 because you're a woman. It's like, that's weird, because I have everything that a man has, excluding, like, a penis. So, I'm gonna try. They still study that shit in college. Like, they dealt with barriers, of course they fucking did, but that was just other people trying to block their path. But they still tried. And they got fucking ahead in life. And then next thing you know, they're in space when people said that they fucking couldn't be because they believed in themselves. You have to believe in yourself. Now, I'm going to give some examples of people who have had self-fulfilling prophecies. I fucking hate them. Like, I'm trying not to use dating-based ones, but let's just get them off the bat. The recent guy I went on a date with, yeah, he had this self-fulfilling prophecy that, like, oh, I can't tell Tamia the truth about how recently I broke up with my ex, or else, like, she's not gonna want to be with me because it's way too soon and she's gonna think I'm not over her, or that there's still drama. Whole time, it's like, no, sir, if you just simply told me, oh, we've been separated for a month, instead of, oh, we've been separated for 6 months and broke up 6 months ago, that would have, like, made a world of difference. I would have not got my ass kicked by some random bitch at 8:30 a.m. last fucking Saturday. I would have just went, yeah, no, that's too soon for me to be at your place. Move out first. Like, they already were in the process of moving out, but just bear with me for the sake of the story. I would have been like, yeah, dude, I would have still dated him perfectly fine. Because guess what? I also went through a breakup, like, a month ago. Like, that doesn't mean I'm not able to see other people and move on. And also, that's kind of how you, like, figure out who's for you and who's not for you. You figure out what the fuck you want, and you figure out, like, hey, you just go, you have to just kind of, I tell my friends this, you have to whip out your fucking full dick and balls on the table and just slam it there and tell the world, this is me. And you just have to go about that. Funny enough, that exact same friend, a year ago, I remember I told them, hey, I know this great burger joint They have like a huge fucking, like huge space, and they have a whole segregated set up these stairs where like if you really wanted to, you could have like a whole separate like space for like an open mic where comedians can get up and perform, or people can showcase their talents, and like it could bring in a real revenue for like you and the bar, and it could be a huge thing. I can picture it. But that same friend was like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll think on it. But and then guess what, a year later, now my friend feels more secure in themselves. Instead of saying, ooh, I'm not gonna make it as a comedian, I'm not gonna make it producing open mics, I'm not gonna make it producing showcases. Now that they're finally like, you know what, I'm going to try regardless, and I'm going to try. Guess the fuck what? Guess the fuck what? Now they're having luck. And they finally reached out to me like, hey, Tamia, how would you feel about like running a showcase with me, or like hosting an event or something like that? I said, that sounds absolutely fantastic. But like, and I said, how about that one space that we were eyeing before, that burger joint with the amazing like huge space and the speakers and all that? And he was like, yes, that place, fuck, oh, we could have done that. But now another person took the spot, and they took the spot because my friend didn't like buck up in time and believe in themselves. If they did, they wouldn't have missed that chance. I've also done that before. I remember when I lived with my mother and was depressed all the time and stressed the fuck out, I kind of got low, because you know there's waiting periods. You're not always going to get instant success, and that's the most painful part. So I remember when I was trying to pursue modeling, I was like, okay, so if I was like, why am I even trying so hard to keep my skin clear, or do this to my hair, or like, just why would I even try? It's not like I'm gonna get represented by Wild and Out. It's not like I'm gonna have an opportunity to or work for Doll's Kill. What's the fucking point? Then guess what? The exact same week I would say some shit like that, like, why would I even try? Because these opportunities aren't gonna come for me, because I'm already failing at like this event, that event. I'm not getting taken at casting calls. And then guess what? Then Doll's Kill would roll up and be like, hey, we're having a casting call in San Francisco, and I would have been perfect, but by then my skin already broke the fuck out. And by then, like, I already, like, stopped taking care of myself or didn't get my hair done, and, like, yeah, so I couldn't go because it's like, fuck, I didn't put in the maintenance and work needed and believe that the chance would come to me, and also be prepared for when the chance comes to me. Like, really. Just, I don't know, I believe that you have to believe in yourself to get far ahead in life. And yeah, another example, this guy I dated, Morgan, a disgusting, vile piece of shit he still was kind of cool, but it took him years of like, he kept trying to lie to me about dumb shit. He'd be like, I've had threesomes, I've been to orgies, I had sex with 3 women in one day before, and I'd just be like, okay. And he kept trying to lie about the most random shit to try to seem impressive to me. And I just had to tell him, dude, I already think you're cool. If you want to impress me, like, you've noticed this whole time that every time I come over, I compliment your huge fucking rare comic book collection, and you think I want to hear about you fucking people that you've actually never fucked in your entire life? If you want to seem cool to me, then how about this? Show me your comic book collection. Talk to, like, Lily, I owned an encyclopedia for Marvel, and you're out here trying to brag about fucking sex. I don't care. You're already cool. How about you talk to me about video games and shit we actually have in common? Because then I would see you as naturally cool, and we can bond, and it's honest. You need to believe in yourself. And it took a while, but then he finally did believe me, and then he stopped fucking lying, and he was like, okay, hey, look, here's my rare Resident Evil comic book collection. It cost me a lot of money to get these. Also, here are all these figurines I have. And then he was showing me his coin collection, and I was genuinely in awe. And we bonded because of that. You just have to fucking believe in yourself. Don't worry, we all go through periods of struggle. Like, I just kept fucking, even me, like, I'm sure I've made endless videos online on here and other platforms where I'm just like, what's the point? What's the point of living? What's the point of any of this? Because, like, life's gonna fuck up either way. I've had that plenty of times. Like, it's like, why would I bother like, yeah, a good analogy is sometimes shit gets fucked up and that hurts. A good analogy, when I lived with my mom, I actually did get my place 100% sparkling clean, perfectly decorated, everything. But one issue. This jewelry stand I made to decorate all of my necklaces and all of my rings and bracelets and all of that so neatly and beautifully on the wall. I did so well on it that I just love to stare at it. It kept falling off the wall and then retangling everything that I worked so hard to detangle. At first I was like, that's frustrating, but it's okay, I can laugh this off. I rebuilt it, glued things even stronger, checked the structure, rehung it up, and then guess what? It was like, it fucked up again. Sorry, 1 second, someone's messaging me. And then I think that thing fell down maybe 3 times, and then the third time I was like, I finally did it. I changed the board entirely. I went about it a whole new direction. I've done this, that, and the other to make sure it's strong and secure and 100% will not fall down. Turns out it was more like 99.7%, and I still coin flipped and got on the wrong side of luck, because guess what? After weeks of detang, do you know how the frustration of detangling one necklace that's tied with another? Imagine that with like 20 necklaces and 16 rings, and then a few bracelets, and then also your jewelry breaks each fucking time. Let's just say, by the 4th time, I got so fucking depressed that I was like, you know what, fuck it. And then I started falling apart again. Because it just was like, I'm trying so hard to have a clean, organized room so that when I wake up in the morning, I can just go to my perfectly folded drawer of clothing, get dressed, go to my makeup section, put that on, go to my jewelry section. And it's like, why can't God let me be happy? Fuck. But then, so sometimes shit like that does happen. You will fail for a while. But it's okay. Like, I don't, like, actually, no, that still frustrates me. But eventually, at some point, I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe fuck the board entirely. Maybe this isn't meant for me. And then let's just say a series of events happened where it kind of was like, I don't know, I guess it kind of led to a domino effect, because it's like, okay, the jewelry board kept fucking up, which led to my mental health declining, which led to my room getting worse, slightly, but even then my mother was still not having boundaries, and it did a domino effect that kind of led to where I am today. It led to like my mother getting more tense with me getting more tense because of all the stress and everything I was going through that she did or did not know about, and it was just really fucking rough. And then to sum it up, I guess I'm trying to figure out how to like make this not so depressing. I told a friend of mine, or ex-friend, that self-fulfilling prophecies sometimes, like, he was like, why would I try to ever achieve good if bad is inevitable to happen? I said, maybe sometimes bad happens for a reason to get you on the right track. Like, if we really wanted to get all fucking spiritual or psychological about it, we could say something like, oh, hey, because I was so frustrated with this jewelry set and kind of like stressed out and like felt like, what's the fucking point? I also noticed other things in my household that were not letting me flourish, like how my mother would take out her rage on my younger brother over shit that she didn't need to be screaming over, or about how I didn't feel safe in the household, and I was getting more mad because my sanctuary that I was trying to build kept being sabotaged. And then even when I would get back to normal, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna just get rid of this shelf entirely, put my jewelry here, and then reorganize certain parts of my room. Then next thing you know, she would do some dumb shit like kick open my door and barge in. I remember once it set off this weird chain of events. She opened my door, like no knocking, just barged in. And then that caused the door to fling open into this light stand I set up on this perfectly well-crafted mini film set I put in my bedroom. You can even see on my channel from like fucking 2 years ago, 3 years ago, how good that film set looked. It took a lot to get it that way. But I remember she just barged in without knocking. She barged in, it knocked over a light, which knocked over a candle, which spilled hot wax all over my floor and my foot and my hands, which then knocked over something else, which knocked me into the floor. And then it made like fucking 6 messes at once, and then instead of apologizing, she was just like, oops, haha, your fault for not having a perfectly clean room. And then she left. And that was just like step one upon many other things that led me to realize, never mind, I do have a nice life and everything is good. This is just not a place for me to flourish. And then let's just say as time went on, like let's just say it all became a catalyst. And then we all know what happened. The day where my mother, like, I was just like, okay, I'm finally out of a rut after that fucked up abusive ass relationship that destroyed me. I'm finally feeling back to normal. I'm figuring out what to do around the house to like make my life easier. And then she kept doing more stupid shit. I would tell her that I have object permanence issues, and I was asking her if we could like move these like sliding doors that we had on my closet, so since it was actually something that prevented me from being able to access my closet, because the doors would jam all the time, clothes would fall down, I wouldn't be able to like fix clothes that fell down, and then it's like, just, it would be pointless. But she still was like, no, 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 Tamia, the doors are supposed to fucking be there, stop asking me. Or it could be something as simple as, okay, I'm going to go to my bathroom, and to make things easier for me, even when I'm depressed or struggling, I'm going to just easily whip out this like plastic container I have that has all my soaps and my makeup perfectly organized, and I'm going to sit it in this corner of the bathroom. But then she'd barge into my room like, Tamia, take that shit out, put that under this fucking sink, because what the fuck do you think you're doing? in my house. And it's like, oh, I'm so sorry that like fucking 8 feet of counter space you couldn't sacrifice, like, no more than 8 feet, more like that was, it was like a, I would say it's more like fucking the sink was twice as long as my body. So I'd say like 12 feet of space, and it's like you can't sacrifice 1 foot out of 12 fucking feet of countertop space in one bathroom that isn't even your bathroom. She has her own bathroom, and that's my bathroom that I share with my younger brother. You mean to tell me I can't sit an object on my own countertop, on my own side of the sink, if it would make my life better? And then it just built up, built up, built up, and then next thing you know, I remember I was like, okay, I get the feeling something really bad's gonna happen, because I'm almost done fixing my room. I'm almost done clearing out these like alcohol bottles that I have, and I'm almost done, like, it's so close. Like, she also did other shit to sabotage it, like dumb shit. Like, I would get my room perfectly spick and span. The next thing you know, construction workers would come in and they had to do a construction job. And the dumbest thing she did was that she, like, I already told her that I was allergic to the dust. And that, like, it annoyed me when they once did construction without hanging up tarps, because I had to do an expensive laundry order to fix it. I had to clean every single surface ever and every single object ever, and that I would have nights where I couldn't even sleep because of just endless sneezing and wheezing. And then let's just say they did eventually, construction workers came back. My mom at first was like, "Ooh, here, hang up a tarp, this is hurting my baby." And then they hung up a tarp, and then I remember when they left and they were like, "Oh, all right, we're all done with construction, it's all patched up." She did the dumbest thing imaginable. I remember I just took my time to take the tarp down. I didn't want to take it down immediately myself, because it's like I was enjoying a TV show. It was fine. She had no reason to be in my room or even care. She walked in the house. She was like, "Did you take down that tarp yet?" I said, "Oh, no, not yet. I'll probably take care of it myself in a second, though. I'm just taking my time with it." And then this dumbass bitch decides to just barge herself into my room with the light still off, and then just like yank down all the plastic tarps, and then just curl it into a ball, throw it on the floor, and be like, "Hey, Timmy, I took care of it for you." And let's just say the allergic dust flew on every fucking surface again. And so and then, oh my god, I remember the day where she attacked me over an unvacuumed corner, already after getting on my nerves all fucking day. And I was so close to finishing every fucking thing in my room to have the perfect film studio for my little talk show, the perfect bedroom, every fucking thing. I was so close to finishing, but I had to redo everything because that stupid bitch decided to fucking yank down the tarp in the dark and fucking fling allergic dust on everything. So I had to re-clean my sheets, re-clean my clothes, every fucking surface imaginable, and another night or so of just endless sleep, not being able to sleep because of how sick I got. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, let's just say that led to a domino effect, and now, hey, here I am. I'm in a place that's much better. And even though I did lose the jewelry I had, and I did lose a lot in the fucking exit of that abusive ass situation, guess what? I got something even better. So sometimes, like, doors shut on you or things happen just because it's kind of like a fucked up sign that, like, hey, maybe this isn't as meant for you as you thought. Maybe that place was never going to be perfect for you. Like, maybe it didn't matter if you had the perfect jewelry setup or not, because something otherwise out of your control would have sabotaged it. And deep down, even if you had like, if I really did have the perfect place, if the jewelry stand did hang up perfectly, like, there still would have been something or the other to show that that was not a place I could leave. And then, of course, if I got comfortable in a place like that, I probably would have hesitated to talk back to my mother that day. I probably would have hesitated to leave because I thought, no, I can tolerate this. I have everything I want and need here. But it's like, nah. The situation of stress was so perfect that, yeah, you get what I mean? So I know that's a long story, but that's just my way of saying sometimes bad happens because better is on the way for you, and you just have to be in the fucked up conditions needed to achieve better. And I hope that makes sense. So sometimes shit fails, but it's not telling you that your path is, like, not meant for you. It's just telling you that your circumstances suck. And that it's just like a weird roundabout fucking weird thing where it's like, okay, you're eventually going to be put in the right circumstances. But for now, here's a bunch of signs that this place is not your final end game. This is not a good place for you, and there's better. And that's like what the real point is. Now, I hope that makes sense to you. Also, if you're wondering why the tarp was such an issue, like, I don't know, imagine someone does like a art project with glitter on a carpet, but they use like a blanket to cover it, and then someone walks into the room and says, I'll help you with the blanket, and then they just fling the blanket like this, and then glitter gets everywhere, and they claim that they fixed it. So now glitter's all over your apartment because someone didn't want to just neatly, or just leave you to fix it. Oh, my stomach hurts from Mountain Dew. But yeah, I don't know. I always get annoyed when I meet people with self-fulfilling prophecies about like their love lives or like, cause it's like why are you? Cause yeah, that guy I dated, Jared, the last man I officially was like a thing with. With him, I remember that he was just always insecure because like even from the jump, I should have never entertained him when I detected that. But what can I say? It was sadly a stressful circumstance where I needed him in my life. What can I say? I was gonna probably not even be alive right now if I hadn't met him, so I'm not gonna say grateful. Let's just say it happened, and there's not much I can do about it, but it had to happen. But either way, he could never believe that I just liked him for him, so he had a self-fulfilling prophecy of Tamia fucking hates me because I'm broke and I'm unattractive and I need to do all these fucked up tactics so that then she feels too low self-esteem to ever leave me and she relies on me for her source of happiness. And he would do all this toxic shit until eventually I would leave him because eventually I thought, okay, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't date men who are this like poor, because if this is how poor men act, I'd rather have someone with money who wouldn't even think twice about doing something nice for me. Or maybe I should date someone who actually is like does see themselves as genuinely attractive or interesting, because it would be better than dating someone who's really awful for me, who I found fascinating, but now they're becoming boring by being this way that they're being. So his self-fulfilling prophecy of, ooh, Tamia hates me because I'm broke and boring and ugly and stupid came true because he was doing stupid shit that made him annoying and made him have no personality, that like, and just removed him from the source material of the good person I thought he was. Or maybe he's that I thought he was, because a good person wouldn't do what he did, and if a good person does, they need to work on it, otherwise they can no longer have the right of being called a good person. And so yeah, and then I thought, yeah, I'd rather just date someone who doesn't have to worry about their finances at all in relation to their love for me, because I'd rather not date someone who's so insecure that they think I can't just enjoy a simple night at home with them. And I don't know, like, I've had some really fucking stupid breakups because of it. Like, yeah, I've had dudes be like, oh, okay, I get the feeling Tamia's gonna fucking hate me if I gently tell her that I'm leaving her for another woman. So instead, I have to be as much of an asshole as possible because it's gonna be doing her a favor, and she can just get over me twice as fucking fast, right? And, like, I can move on happily with my own relationship with a new girl. That didn't work. It just led to me almost attempting suicide. And then when he talked to me about it, I just kind of said, that doesn't make any sense. So your tactic was, Tamia's gonna be heartbroken if I'm nice, so I should be evil, so she won't get heartbroken? No, I'm just gonna be heartbroken because you're evil, and it's gonna hurt 10 times more. You could have just been normal. Like, really. I don't know, it's so cowardly to me. But in terms of certain things like goals and stuff, like, it's very important to still believe in it. It doesn't matter, because guess what? The best innovation on this planet has came from people trying even in times of hard times and desperation. Some people even say that hard times are kind of necessary. Like, but then again, I think that's some head ass shit. But some people will say things like, ooh, um, tough times build tough men. Tough men build soft times. Soft times build soft men, and soft men create hard times. Now, some people believe in that shtick, some people don't. That's up to you. But I do believe that, sadly, innovation does come from struggle. It doesn't mean we have to struggle, but I'm just saying that doesn't mean struggle is the end game. It means that, like, yeah, when the plague came, the plague was fucking awful. But, you know, niggas didn't just go, okay, guess we'll fucking die. They went, okay, let's learn about hygiene for fucking once. Let's see if there a way to get rid of these fucking pests and avoid this problem in the future. And, like, sometimes people can have happy fucking accidents just because they tried. Like, eureka moments, basically. Like, yeah, like Newton with the fucking apple or whatever, if that's relevant. So I'm just fucking saying, it's like, Like the Ringling Brothers. Wait, is it the Ringling Brothers? The ones with the planes, you know, people told them like, "Hey, you're kind of weird. Like, aren't we in the Great Depression era or something like that, and you're trying to figure out how to make fucking planes? That's kind of stupid. No one can fly. We are meant to be on the ground. We aren't birds." But they said, "Watch me." And they fucking tried, because what are they going to lose from trying? It's like, okay, you lose some money, you lose some time, you lose some effort. But at the very least, you can say you tried and gave it your best. And then guess what? They fucking learned. And now we have people doing fucking private jets and helicopter rides just for the fucking fun of it. Because they researched and researched and toiled and believed in themselves. And now they're hailed as one of the most important people on this planet. Another analogy I will use, I knew this guy, let's call him JC or Juan Carlos or whatever. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything sexual about him, even though it does come to mind off the bat. We were fuck buddies, but like we almost were friends to an extent, to the point where we could have conversations like this. And he would always complain to me about how his life sucked. But then he would do something like, ooh, I absolutely, like, he talked about how he hates his job and hates how he doesn't have any free time and all the back-breaking labor, and how he gets home smelling like dishwater and construction and tin cans of Bounce That Ass, because he's working 2 jobs and hardly getting any sleep. But then whenever a great or better opportunity would come along, he wouldn't do it because he felt comfortable in his space of loserdom. And I'm not saying he's a loser, but it's like, no, he is. Like, but I say that in the most loving way possible, because it's like, okay, he chose to lose. He was put in situations where it's like, hey, here's an easy job that will pay you like fucking $5 more and is like 10 times less stress, and it's very, very easy and simple. Like, you will be entirely fine. Like, work this shift, you will be happy. And this nigga was just like, nah. And then, like, he had options to go back to college for his degree. He had options to not move to Indiana. He had options where he could have just lived by himself. I even was like, hey, my space is open. It's super extremely cheap rent. And, like, you would be able to do anything you fucking want instead of toiling away because your rent's that low and you could save money super easily. He was like, nah. And so he chose. And then guess what? For like several years, he just was like, wow, it feels like I haven't done anything for the past 10 years of my life except for work and work and work and never have any fun. But deep down, it's like, okay, I tried. But it's like, I even invited him to any social outing or any cool TV show or video game or puzzle. He would not take that fucking opportunity because he was content with being a loser. That fucking sucks. And it's fucking stupid. He should not. And yeah. Meanwhile, this other guy I met recently, Riley, me and Riley aren't talking anymore because, let's just say, his mask fell off and we can see that he's not the best person himself. He's the opposite of JC, because he actually told me, I'm motivated by a challenge. If I am in hard times, I'm motivated to see how I can get the fuck out of it. I want to actually have a better life that is quality. And even if it's going pretty good, I always want to see how I can strive to make it better. Like, what can I do to improve someone else's life? What can I do? Like, what can I learn about? What can I research? And, like, that's why in the middle of this economic crisis, he's doing pretty fucking good for himself, because he has like he could have just went, I'm making pretty good money at this job and I'm going to do the bare minimum and I could probably just skate by this way for years and never get a raise and whatever. But no, he said, I'm going to study super hard for this extreme exam, and because he did that, now his income can easily go up to like 100 fucking K, and he's younger than me, and it's like, okay, shit, nigga, respect. And like he's still studying for even more and more and harder because he like in hard times, he's been going through a lot. He still is like motivated to try, and he has ambition and attraction. It's like, I just thought to myself, I am so attracted to this type of man because I haven't met men like that in a while. I was like, ooh, you got a throbbing, dude. Sorry. But it's true, he did, even right now. I was just like, now that's what someone should be. Like, hard times suck. They do, and they can feel awful to get out of. But if there is a chance, you're supposed to take it. A coward dies 1,000 deaths by stressing over and over in their head about all the ways things can go wrong and believing it will never go right. A hero dies 1 death because they make the fucking move. And they take that leap and they jump. And that's what you're supposed to fucking do. You're not supposed to sit there and go, I have a shitty dead-end job, and I'm always working, and I'm miserable, and I'm gonna choose to be this way for the next 3 fucking years, and complain that my life is shit and that the world dealt me bad cards. Like, no, you're fucking pathetic. The thing that you're, like, you know, trust me, I even check myself on this shit. I'm aware that I could have done a whole lot differently than I can, so I'm trying to work to unravel certain traumas I've had and limiting beliefs so I can be on a better path. And that's why I was so attractive when I met Riley, because it's like, okay, here's someone who could have easily just laid down like a fucking dog and been like, ooh, what's the point of going to college? The economy's in shambles, a useless degree. No, he said, I'm gonna make this degree work for me. I'm not gonna work for a fucking degree. Or he worked for the degree, but the degree, he also did stuff to make the degree benefit him back. And like, he still worked, and now that's why he's so much more successful than a lot of people I know at the mere age of 22. Shout out to him, really. Like, Jesus, he was awesome. And then on top of that, it's like, just, I think I've made my point, but if you're, Steve Harvey said it himself, if you're in hell, you're supposed to go through hell. Why would you just sit there and be in hell? Like, why the fuck would you do that? You're just gonna sit there and be like, oh no, flames and pestilence and sadness. Guess this is meant for me. No, you gotta fight to get out of hell, tooth and fucking nail. And sure, that'll suck, but you know it also sucks being in fucking hell in the first place. You're supposed to fight to get the fuck out, and then you'll feel rewarded even throughout all the suffering, or you'll feel exhausted, but at least you can say that you fucking tried. And if you tried and failed, okay, well, you're still gonna, like, boo fucking who? Get up and try again. Or, hey, maybe try a different tactic, or hey, like, there's a lot of fucking possibilities out there. But would you rather just be the person who decides, I'm gonna sit in the lava pits of hell and get tortured all day and get skinned by demons? Where is this analogy going? Or are you someone who goes, what if I punch the shit out of some demons, and how many times do I have to do it before I'm finally out of hell? What do I gotta do to, like, get into heaven? Or back onto, like, the earth or whatever, or reach nirvana or whatever the fuck. And you do that. Like, it's gonna suck either way. Someone also explained it, like, this woman got online and she talked about how she was talking to her grandmother, like, ooh, I don't know if I want to go through college because that's just so many years to finally be a doctor. I don't think it's worth it. And then the grandmother said, the time will pass anyway. You may as well be a doctor. And that was like, you're fucking right. Yeah. So I guess, like, what I'm saying is, please try. Please try. Don't just sit in hell. See if you could fight to get out of it. Like, I could have easily just chose to fucking kill myself in some shitty motel and believed my mother and believed that this planet would not have any good opportunities for me. But no, thankfully, I went, no. Let's see if I could hit the ground running. And I went out there, got that restaurant job, made tips, got the little cheap motel room, worked, grinded. It was hell, of course. It was for a bit, but it was still better than, like, okay, the alternative would be getting my ass beat by my fucking mother, or being in a shitty situation and not being able to feed myself or have any sort of freedoms whatsoever in that shitty ass house with her. Hearing her scream at my younger brother all day and being mad about this shit and that shit and making me feel like an ungrateful neat as she's literally using my disability checks to finance her fucking lifestyle like a disgusting cunt. Like, and also taking all of my other fucking checks too. Like, god damn it, bitch. So, let's just say I grinded like hell. I grinded so hard. And then I got to a better position very quickly because I believed in myself. So I guess at the end of the day, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you're worth it. You have to really get out there. Sometimes people will get you fucked up, but it's like, still, guess what? You have to see yourself as worth it in any capacity. Like, I could have easily, yeah. Also, closed mouths don't get fed, and you're never gonna know if you don't try. So if you try and you fail, okay, you're back at square one and you lost nothing. Or, like, maybe you do try, you lose a little money, but you gain experience and a story to tell. So let's look on the bright side. Anyway, it's hard, but let's just say, to finish off this video, we can get through hard times together. So even if you're at the point where you're like, it's hard to even get out of the mindset of a self-fulfilling prophecy, then I encourage you to scare yourself with the challenge of believing, even in the most delusional way possible, the exact opposite of what you're thinking. Be delusional, like, ooh, do you have a film script that you think is so fucking stupid? Guess what? I had some, and then it turns out people say it's the best thing that they've ever fucking heard of, and they want to invest in it. Do you really think that you're ugly? Okay, well, what if you just went out for one night and pretended like you were the hottest fucking girl there and did all the shit you see hot girls do? Most likely you will have some people turning their necks to be like, holy shit, she's fucking amazing. What if you tried? I love you so much. Take care. Mwah. Peace out.